Hello everyone, this is Jan Bobot calling, joining into the webinar. Welcome to Webydo's webinar. I'm your host Jan Bobot, and today I'm going to teach you on how to bring a PSD file and convert it to a beautiful Webydo website. Okay, I'm going to stop after a few sections to answer questions. So bear with me a bit. I'm going to explain a few things about the Photoshop document that we're working on, and we're also going to build the website live, and I'm going to answer all your questions. Okay, so let's start. First of all, I would like to present you my Photoshop document. I'm sure that most of you have downloaded the Photoshop document that we see here. And this is basically how my Photoshop document looks. Okay, of course, if I scroll down, you see exactly every element that we are going to use in our website. Okay, so first of all, I'm sure you can see the icons that we're also using. I have saved them into a document as PNG files. Why? Because these this PNG file, in PNG, okay, the background is transparent, so it's perfect for Webydo. As PNG files on Webydo, we don't see the background of the image itself. Okay, so exactly what are we going to do with our Photoshop document? Basically, what we're going to do, we're going to analyze our Photoshop document. We're going to analyze all the elements that we're using into a Photoshop document, and we're basically going to replicate them and create a website through the Webydo platform. Okay. Now, of course, if you guys want to download the complete version of the Photoshop document, you can go on Behance and just simply type in the name Rufayed Sakib, and you should see the free Photoshop document. Okay, so credit goes to him, and the template name is called Rage. So let's start. We're going to go step by step, okay? But before we go step by step, we just need to prepare exactly what we're going to do before we start creating our own website. So first of all, we're going to create our own website. Everything is going to be done through a blank canvas. So I'm simply loading my blank canvas, and what we're going to do, we're going to go through a small process before we start designing our website. So number one, what we're going to do, we're going to extend this content line like this. So now we have enough space for our whole website. Second of all, I would like to show you about paragraph styles that we're going to use most of the time. So we're going to go on View, Paragraph Styles, and we're going to upload. As you can see here, I'm selecting my paragraph style, which is normal, which is paragraphs. And of course, I'm going to upload a font. I'm just going to click on the font here, add fonts. And the font that we're using in our Photoshop document is called Railway. And it's also a Google font, like this. And when we're done, we click OK, and we can save it. Next, again, we're going to do Railway. We're going to make it extra bold. We should maybe, since it's a page title, it's an H1 in terms of SEO. As you can see, it's H1. Okay, we could make it 60 pixels. And of course, line height is always 4 pixels higher than the font size. Next, title, again, Railway. We're always using that type of font. Subtitle should be good, and we're not using the galleries. Perfect. Next, let's go to our Photoshop document. Let's zoom in and take this color, which is also part of our color palette. So we're going to use the eyedropper tool. Click on the element here, copy this color, go to Setting, Site Presets, and just put the color right here. There you go. This means that every time that I'm going to drag and drop a shape, an element, basically anything, go to the Design tool, Fill, select the color of my choice, and the color is right here. Wonderful. So this is the preparations before we start designing our website. So again, let's start. So step one. I want to show you the step one. This is my step one. This is basically my header of the website. So let's start analyzing, before we even design, let's start analyzing exactly what elements are we using to do this, this first part of the website. So number one, here what we're looking at is a shape fit to width, and inside of that shape fit to width we have a background image. In addition to it, what we did is that on top of that background image, we also added another shape, okay, and we changed the opacity to 50, and we just made it gray. Okay, here we have a logo. A logo, again, like I told you before, is a PNG where the background is completely transparent. Here we normally have also an image. We're not going to use it today. Okay, we have the small arrow here, which is also an image. Again, everything in PNG. This is a menu, and this is a mobile menu. Again, we also have text inside. This is going to be called the title element, and we have one button here on our left and one button here on our right. So we have what we call a full button on the left and a line button on the right. These are what the elements are called. Okay, so here what I did is a simple step what we're going to do. Okay, so first of all, we're going to drag and drop a shape, make it full width, and put a background image inside. So let's start. Number one, drag and drop shape. Fit to width. Put the Y to equal 0 so that it's at the beginning of the page. You can simply drag it or just change the height to, let's say, 700. And under fill, you're going to see the background image here. We're going to go to PSD to Webydo file. Going to go to images and background image. There you go. So now it's uploading. Now we're also, again, we're going to drag and drop a shape again. Fit to width. Y equals 0. And what is the size? 700. 700 again. We're going to change the color to gray or maybe to black, which is easier. And we're going to change the opacity to 50. This is exactly the effect that we have here on our PSD document. So let's see what we have next. We have a logo. So a logo is an image. Simple as that. We just simply double click, go to PSD Webydo, logos, and select the logo here. All you need to do is resize it a bit. To resize it, press and hold the Shift key and put it to the top. Next, we have a menu. So on our menu, what do we have? We have hello, about, services, portfolio, team, blog, and contacts. Let's try and do that. To do that, we need to go to pages. We're going to extend this. Now, of course, everything is going to be links. Okay, so we don't need new pages. This is basically a one-page website with only one page, which is the home page. Okay, so we're going to add new links. So we have home, about, and services. About. We're just going to write them here, and then we're going to connect everything. Connecting will be towards the end. New link. Portfolio, team, blog. And the last one is contact. Just going to move the 404 page. Wonderful. Now let's design our menu. To design our menu, all we need to do is to go to the Elements panel, drag and drop the menu. Of course, this is the menu element. Simply double click, customize it. Of course, we're using Railway. We're going to take out the fill, take out the stroke, change the color to white. And this is the normal state. The rollover state, let's say we just want a simple stroke of 2 pixels at the bottom, like this. And the active state will have this here. Okay. Now, of course, I could usually keep it like this. Okay, and I would like to show you a difference between a normal menu and a dynamic menu. Normal menu is when the effect, such as the stroke, follows the length of the box itself that is inside the menu. If I click inside and I go on the size, it's going to say 100 pixels. So my stroke follows 100 pixels all the time. A dynamic menu will follow the length of the characters that are inside each box. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the main menu element, go on Properties panel, select Dynamic Menu. Everything will be squeezed in. Of course, I'm going to click inside and put a margin of 35. And as you can see here, my stroke follows the length of the characters that are inside every box. So now that I'm done with my menu, all I need to do, simply put it up like this. Next, we also have, sorry, I apologize, we also have a mobile menu. All we need to do is drag and drop the mobile menu. Again, this is a shape. Inside that shape, there's a background image that we're going to take off. Of course, we're going to take off the color of the shape itself and the stroke also. Like this. And we're going to upload the new background image. So we're going to go on PSD Webydo, icons, header, mobile menu. I'm going to drag and drop this. Of course, every time I click, this appears. We can customize it however we want. But for now, all we need is the design level. Of course, I'm going to drag and drop this guy here. We're going to move everything and center everything at the same time. And everything is amazing. Next. Hamburger menu we just did. Image icon 1, which is the logo. Title text, we're creative designers. So let's start. We're going to drag and drop the title. This is going to be my page title here. What we're going to do, I'm just going to drag this off. We're creative designers. We can actually make it much bigger. Let's do 90. 94. Let's color it in white. Wonderful. All we need to do is to extend this. And maybe we should also add a line height. Sometimes it's good to put a bigger line height. So instead of 94, let's do 104. 114, that would be the best. Okay, next we have we have two buttons here. We have the Get Started and Download Now. So all we need to do is from the Elements panel, go to Buttons. Okay, of course, we also added an email button. Okay, every time that we click on the email, it opens our email client and we can send an email directly. We just added today, so feel free to use the email button anytime. Solid button, okay? So here we have a solid button, okay? Now, of course, before we actually customize it, we need to customize the text that is inside that button, okay? How do we do this? The best way that I found to do it, okay, and I'm going to go throughout the whole, a lot of webinars, and I'm going to explain the best way to work around the Webydo platform, okay? So for now, just to make sure, I'm going to customize my font first, make it 16, 20. Of course, I want it to be white. And on my paragraph styles, I'm going to add it and call it desktop button white. I'm going to change, instead of H2, P. Okay, and my element somewhere here. I can delete it. I created my paragraph style. All I need to do is select the button itself, and of course, in regards to design and property-wise, we go to the Properties panel. Our background color will be the pink. We're going to say Start Now. We're going to change the text style to the style that we added just now. Desktop. This is how it looks. Okay. Background transition color can be white. You choose the border transition color as well, and of course you can choose between border transitions or background transitions. So we can do bounce to bottom. What we need to do is extend this. Of course, let's be precise. We want it to do 150 to 50. Next, let's drag and drop the line button, the ghost button, in other words. Again, 150 if I'm not mistaken, 150 and 50. Perfect. And we said it is download now. Download now. Change the text style to desktop button white, border color white, and of course background transition color will be the pink. I just want to make sure that it's download now. Okay, great. So here we need to make this button longer. So 200, or we can do maybe 180, that would be good. So the second button is also 180. There you go. Now, of course, we want to bring this up a bit, simply because we want to add another icon, which is the small arrow icon, this one. And all we need to do is put it there. Let's publish this for now and see the result. And there you go. It's exactly how we wanted it to be. Next. So let's do the second part. Let's have a look. What do we have on the second part, the step 2? Okay. So again, the step 2, and I'm going to do a lot of grouping during this webinar as well, and I'm going to show you exactly what how to use grouping. So step 2, right now we have an about us title, we have a small paragraph, a button. Let's actually analyze it. Okay, so let's go. So we have here a title text. Then we have a shape. Okay, we have a small paragraph, we have a button here, we have a shape, and we're going to fill it with a it's going to be completely transparent, or you can leave it white. But if you look closely, and you're going to see, if you look closely on the PSD file that I have sent all of you, you're going to see that there's a very, very small stroke. Okay, now inside of it, inside that shape, we're going to add another shape which is completely gray, and inside that shape, we're going to put an image inside. Now, aside from that, we also have a text element. Okay, a text element is a title and paragraph at the same time. In this case, we're only going to use title and paragraph, but it's always important to know. Okay, so let's see exactly, let's have one overview of what we're going to do. Text element, title, and text. So this is basically about us and this paragraph here. Okay, so number 1, what are we doing? We're dragging and dropping the title. And want to see exactly here, we see that it's a bit bold, so maybe we should change the paragraph style. So, about us. Okay, just going to make it bold. Semi-bold is okay. Let's make it normal bold. And let's update it. So to update it, to override the style, all we need to do is click on Save Style. Okay, next what do we have? We have a small pink shape. So we're going to drag and drop the shape. Again, what's the size of the About Us? The About Us is 145. So the shape here also is going to be 145. We put it towards the end. We're going to take this off and just make 2 pixels and fill with the color pink, like that. Of course, if you need to reduce this, so let's make it 135 or maybe 125. There you go. This is more like it. Let's see if it's kind of the same. Oh, even less. This should be it. And now we have a paragraph. So I'm going to go to a nice website for dummy text called Bacon Ipsum. You can choose paragraphs. I'm just simply going to copy this paragraph and go here. And there you go. Okay. Next, we have a button that says download now. Now here, instead of redesigning the download, what we can do, we can right-click on the Start Now button that looks exactly the same as the download, and we only need to duplicate. And you're going to see throughout my webinar, I'm going to duplicate a lot, and then I'm going to group a lot and duplicate a lot again. So, again, we're going to change it to download. See, I just saved you 10 more minutes of hard work. Then we have what we call two shapes. And inside these two shapes, we have another square, okay, which is another shape, an image, title, and paragraph. So let's do it. Shapes. And again, like I told you before, we're going to make it completely white and a tiny bit transparent to make the look and feel like what we have here. Okay. So let's make it 380 on 50 like this. Okay. We're going to have one stroke. Okay, let's see how they did it. Yep, it's one stroke. Change the color to nothing. And change the opacity maybe to 70 to see how it is. And maybe instead of black, we're going to make it light gray. So it looks something like this. Next, what we're going to do, we're going to drag and drop again the shape, and because the height is 50, we're going to have another shape that's 50 on 50. Let's change the opacity to make it more gray, and we're going to do 50 on 50. And again, we're just simply going to place it here. Okay? And then what we're going to do, we're going to select those two elements, right-click, and group. Now that we have grouped, we're going to right-click again and duplicate. Simple as that. Then we can remove the grouping and simply play around with it. So we're going to double-click here. Going to go to PSD to Webydo, and again, just to make sure, the icons that we're looking at is the About icons. We have one for design. Okay, so now that it's white, it's a tiny bit tricky as long as your element is selected. So I see here, again, it's always good to follow the width and height of every element. Okay, so I guess we're going to use 30. And again, we're going to use the Snap to Smart guides to make sure they are aligned correctly. So we're also, again, we're going to add the other team. So if I'm not mistaken, 30 on 30. And this is also 30 on 30. There you go. Next, we're going to add a title. So this is going to be more of a subtitle. Again, I feel that it's also very bold and a tiny bit smaller. So we're going to keep it as it is right now. And unique design and experience team. Oh, sorry, we're going to duplicate. Again, 2. Now lose the same design. Experience team. There you go. So the unique design, I'm going to put it there. Experience team. Just want to make sure that it is precisely at the same position. Yes. Perfect. What we're going to do, we're going to add paragraphs. So we just need very few paragraphs, so we don't need to use Bacon Ibsen. We're going to put it there. Let's duplicate that. Wonderful. Now we can select all of these elements, group them. Again, select all the other elements, group them. And of course, it's always important to keep to the same size. So I'm going to put a guy here. I'm going to move those elements towards here. Okay, next, what do we have? Step 3. So step 3 is pretty much easy, okay? Of course, I'm looking at a very small image, a title, and a paragraph. Let's have a look. Let's do it. So of course, we all see here that we have a small line, so we're just going to put a small line. Simple as that. Shape, fit to width. Solid color, let's take it off. Now, of course, we put a stroke, but we only need a bottom stroke of 1. Like that. Okay. So, again, what are we looking at? Images. So we're going to put our 3 images. So let's go to PSD Webydo. Icons. We are. So we are creative. And again, I always like, and I'm going to point it out, it's always good to play around with the position of the image itself. I don't like putting a position on an image. And of course, the fitting, I don't want to stretch it. I hate stretching it. So I always make it as if it fits to the whole width of the element itself. Okay, even though it doesn't do much, it's always important to have. So I'm going to duplicate here, which actually duplicates the properties that I put into the first one, which is none and position none and fitting fit to width. Again, position none, fitting fit to width. So I can simply double click here, press on the icon that I've chose, friendly, again, and duplicate. Okay. A good way to use duplicate in terms of keyboard shortcuts, you're going to see if you right click on an element and you go next to duplicate, it's Control and D, and you're going to use it a lot. Now in this case, of course, I want to center all of these 3 elements. What do I need to do? I need to select my automatic layout tool, and of course I'm separating the layout into 3 columns, meaning my elements will be in the center of every column. Okay, and all I need to do is click on reorder layout. Boom, there you go. Next, what we're going to do, if I'm not mistaken, there's a title next to it. Okay, so we're going to redo the automatic layout tool because there's a title next to it. Okay, and again, we do want to duplicate elements, so this is exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to simply double click, make it as a subtitle. Now, in regards to font, you can always choose the font that's best for you. Okay, of course, in Photoshop, if I select a font and it tells me that it has to be 30 pixels, then of course on my Weby'do platform, I'm going to select 30 pixels. Okay, the reason why I'm choosing the font size every time is simply to make this, of course, this webinar faster and answer questions that you may have. But it's always important to follow every design that you made on Photoshop, whether it's font size. Of course, font alignment is always 4 pixels higher than the font size. Okay, and again, always important to follow exactly every step of the Photoshop document. So we're going to make it semi-bold, and here we're creative. Right-click, duplicate. I know that we said that we're friendly. Right-click again. We love. There you go. So we're creative. Again, I see that the text block, and again, something to point out, if the text block looks like this, okay, it's too big, which you don't need, just push it back. That's it. You don't need it. You don't need useless space. And then all you need to do is put it exactly next to it. Okay? Now that you're done, all you need to do is select 2 elements here and group. Then you can put it back. Next, what do we have? We're friendly. Again, useless space. Better off using it here. There you go. Select the two elements, right click and group. What do we have next? Like this. Now Snap to Smart Guides is really awesome once you know how to use them. Well, they basically help you a lot. So all you need to do is select the three elements here, click on the automatic layout tool, and of course reorder layout like this. And as you can see, everything is well centered. Again, I'm not using a lot of my guides. Okay, I'm not using. I could be using them like this by simply clicking on the grid, which is located right below on the bottom right-hand side of the studio. You're going to see the grid overlay, but I'm not using it right now. Next, we have small paragraphs, 3 lines. All we need to do is drag and drop the paragraph style, and again, take this off. Now I've seen that on my Photoshop document, if I scroll down a bit, that there's a line height that is pretty much bigger than the general 4 pixels. Okay, I see that it's around 15 pixels difference. Okay, so again, what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it to 30. It's basically what they're giving us, and of course, what's the width? Of course, we want to keep the paragraph itself the same width of what we have here, the icon and the title at the same time. So what is the width? 263. So again, 263. Now, of course, it makes 4 elements. All we need to do then is just make our font a tiny bit smaller. Oh, maybe I'm mistaken. 263. Oh, maybe because we have space. There you go. Let's duplicate. Select all the 3 elements, and again, reorder layout. Well, it did the reorder layout with 4 lines. Okay, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so we can always use it like this, or of course, if you guys want to use it and to make it completely sink into this here, of course, Snap to Smart Guides, which you can do, ungroup it, and regroup it to make sure it's perfectly aligned. So let's all group it. Oh, sorry. Let's group this first. Make sure that this is at the same. There you go. And there you go. Just move it up a bit. Okay, next, what do we have? So again, what I did right now, which was normally supposed to be the fast process, but let me explain to you the fast process. Always do one section, group everything, and duplicate everything. Okay, so just to show you the fast process again, just gonna Control Z here. Once you're done with one section, you duplicate it to make it 3 sections. And all you need to do is change the icons and change the titles. Hope nothing else is grouped. Let's make it look better. One, two, three. There you go. This already looks better. And of course, I forgot to mention if I want to move them away a bit. There you go. Okay, next. Step 4. Okay, so after this step, I'm going to stop for a few minutes and I'm going to answer all the questions. Okay, so here, what do we have? So let's analyze it. So we have a title, we have a shape, and we have a paragraph element. Next, we have what we call an image. So I'm going to put an image inside of it. And under the properties panel, I'm going to add a text caption. Okay, and inside that caption, I'm going to put a title and text, and also I'm going to put 2 images. You can also link these images or even text so that it pops up the image, or maybe if you want to link them somewhere else, not a problem. Okay, this is exactly what we're going to do. Okay, I'm not going to do a lot of images. I'm going to do the same image basically. Of course, I would recommend, because we're working with shapes, we're not working with shapes on Webydo, we're working on images with Webydo, because images, the image element is the only element that has text caption inside, the properties of text caption. Okay, so it's always good to prepare your pictures in Photoshop first, then to put it in Webydo. So let's start. Our portfolio. So we said that it's a title. Again, I want to use the same title, so we're going to duplicate it. Or maybe let's do something better. Let's right-click, group it, because we want to see, in terms of design, it's always good to keep the same style everywhere. So we're going to group this, and what we're going to do, we're going to duplicate it, and we're just going to move it down. There you go. We're going to ungroup this, and basically here, because we're looking at three lines, I'm guessing. Well, this is not very important. All I need to do is drag and drop the paragraphs out. Okay, and everything should be centered, even the text. And this is, if I'm not mistaken, our portfolio. All I need to do is select those 3 elements, and again, I'm looking at 1 column, just changing the vertical padding for 35, and there you go. And of course, all I need to do is make this longer. I forgot to make it longer, and there you go. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to work with images. So we're going to drag and drop the image element. I'm going to double click. I'm going to go to PSD Weby'nar, and I'm going to do a test image with you guys and show you exactly how the image works. Now, this is a huge image. We're just going to reduce the size to 500, like this. Of course, if we want to make it a tiny bit bigger, press and hold the Shift key, and there you go. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to select the element itself, and I'm going to go to the Properties panel, and I'm going to have the option of selecting Text Caption. When I select the text caption, I have this nice little background that popped up with my text inside. Now, of course, what's the size of the image, first of all? The size of the image is 602 on 322. So this is also 602 on 322. All I need to do is push it up. There you go. So again, title, I'm going to put a phrase here. Okay. We're going to make it small. Make it a tiny bit like this, and maybe I would say 14 would be better. Whoops. 14 would be better on 18. Now, of course, both of them should be centered like this. I'm going to double click here, press enter a bit to push it to the center. Here I'm going to push it again to the center, and again what I'm going to do, I'm going to click here on the image. Okay, so I'm not dragging and dropping any images, it's within the text caption. So let's do it. Image, we're going to upload it, we're going to PSD Webydo, icons, and portfolio. So we have one that says search. Okay, we're going to make it on 25. Let's see if it's small. Okay, it's too small. Let's make it 35. Let's make it 50. There you go. And again, we're going to add another image, which is expand. Again, 50. There you go. And of course, if you want to link that image, okay, of course, it's good to put a title for every images. If you want to link that image, all you need to do is click on the link here, and you want to link it to youtube.com. New window, click on save. Simple as that. I apologize. I guess the sound was off. Okay, so next, what do we have? So step 5, so we're almost there. So again, our services, which is what? Basically here we have a text element, okay, which is basically a title and paragraph plus a shape, okay? Next we have an image, which is basically an icon, okay? We have a title, a shape, and again a paragraph. Okay, so let's review exactly what elements do we need. We need a text element, which is a title and paragraph, so let's do this. Okay, and again, you know what, even better, what did we say before? We can group and duplicate. There you go. Okay, just move this down a bit. And our services. I'm just going to move the paragraph style right next here. And here I can just simply type in services. So I'm looking at 2 lines. Again, I like to make it as clean as possible. We can also ungroup. So I can move this completely to the center. There you go. Whoops, sorry. Then we have 3 icons. PSD to Webydo. Icons. This is going to be on services. Perfect. Branding. Again, I'm going to take out the position. and the fitting to fit to width. I'm going to duplicate it, double click, photo, and web design. And this is basically an agency one-page website, and you can all use it however you want to. Okay, we're going to use the automatic layout tool. Select 3 columns. There you go. Again, we're looking at branding, web design, and photography. So, title, drag and drop. It's going to be a subtitle. 1822, and we're going to change it to semi-bold. Okay, we're going to save this style because we haven't uploaded, we haven't done anything in regards to subtitles. So this is branding. Let's duplicate this. Branding, web design, photography. Whoops, sorry again. And I'm just gonna select the 2 paragraphs here. Oh, if I'm not mistaken, there's 3 shapes as well. Not a problem. Okay, so branding should be generally right here, and web design again. We all want to make everything the same size. Okay. Now, in regards, this is an image element, and inside that image element there's the image itself, but I want my branding title to be exactly in the same on the right side here where I'm pointing my my guide here. There you go. On the element. So this is exactly what I'm doing. Okay, and you can see that I'm, like in Photoshop, I'm just making sure everything is in order. There you go, and now I can simply group. Now I have this shape. This shape, I'm just going to color it in pink. Let's see, how big is that shape? It's very, very small. I'm going to take this off, make sure that it's 50 and 2. Again, I'm going to ungroup this because I want to group everything together. Now let's see where my branding is in regards to x-axis. It's 149. So here, 149. There you go. Now I'm going to duplicate the shape and I'm going to put it to x equals 540. 540. 460. My apologies. 460. And what is the y? Y equals 2871. 2871. Let's duplicate it. It's also 2871, 782. There you go. Now, since I'm looking at 3 lines here, all I need to do, let's see what they have. Not a problem. We're going to group. Okay. And basically this is normally how you do it. So What is the fastest way to do it? I'm just going to simply delete all of this. Because this is one grouped element, I'm going to duplicate it and duplicate it. No, it might squeeze in a bit. Let's not freak out. All we need to do is we're going to fix this. We're going to take this out, ungroup it, because I do want to take care of my shape right here. I just want to move it up a bit and move this down a bit. There you go. This is exactly how we're going to do it. Group it. Now I can duplicate it and use my automatic layout tool. There you go. I'm going to double click here to choose web design. There you go. Okay, this is the easy way to do it. Step 6. Okay, so here we have kind of a shape. We can put a background image inside. Okay, and basically analyzing it, shape, fit to width. We have a text element, which is a title and paragraph. We have a button element, and we have also a ghost element. Okay, so hire us or hire us. Simple as that. What we're going to do, we're going to drag and drop the shape, make it fit to width. Let's make it 400 like this. Let's put an image inside, so PSD to Webydo, images, let's see the portfolio. And again, I want the same size, so let's just duplicate this image, this shape with the background image. Let's take out the background image. Let's make it completely black, put it on top so we don't, the reason that I did it is because it's easier for me that way. And just simply change the opacity to 50. Simple as that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to drag and drop the text. Okay, so the text is black. All we need to do is change it to white. Let's see exactly what we wrote down. We're going to copy. Yeah. Is that the way? Yeah, it's all in capital. There you go. And we also like to copy small text here. Did my text change color? Not yet. One moment, please, and should be good. There you go. And again, we're going to select all by pressing Control A and just changing this to that. If we move it here, we extend this like this. We're just going to make it completely centered. And if I'm not mistaken, we're looking at two buttons. One that is a solid button and one that is a ghost button. Here we're going to do hire us or hire us. White, border color, white. Now of course again, I'm going to add my effect, which is the background transition effect. Here again, check everything. Make the transition. So let's change a bit and let's make the transition white. Oh, I apologize. Background color is this, and the background transition color is white. Now, of course, every time that we change the background transition color, if my text is already white, my text hover color should be pink. Okay? Now, what I do is simple. I just make them like this, select both of them, group them. and just select both of these elements and just make them this way so that everything is centered. And now I can ungroup it, and it's as if I centered all my 2 buttons. Okay, let's work on what's next. Step 7, we're almost done. Next, we have our skills. So again, please listen carefully. What we're going to do right now, I'm going to try and make it as fast as possible. Okay, so please keep up, and I'm sure all of you will be able to do exactly the same thing. So let's actually analyze what we're looking at. Okay, so we're looking at this the basic stuff. Okay, this is a text element, title and paragraph with a shape here. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to look on this section. This section here, this is the title element. Now, of course, you see this, the full shape here. This is actually a shape element. Okay, whoops, sorry. This is basically a shape element. This will define that this is 100% of the bar. Now, out of the 100% of the bar itself, we have a certain percentage that is filled with ink. Okay. So again, we're looking at another shape on top of it. Okay. Next, we have small titles, and again, titles on both sides, and this is a small shape. Okay. Again, it is completely easy to do, and you're going to see how easy it is. I'm going to replicate it right now. Okay. So again, what we're looking at as element part 1 is this section here, where we're going to do. Oh, just need to center this. We're going to group it, duplicate it. Again, duplicating is always good because you're keeping the same space between every title and text, okay, and the shape itself, okay? Now I can ungroup it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to select all, push it to the left. Select all, push it to the left. Now again, all of it. Now, instead of doing automatic layout tool, it's always good to just change the X. Okay, X equals 0, like this. I'm going to select this element, X equals 0 again. And this element, X equals 0. There you go. Same size, same space, same padding. Okay. Now, of course, I'm looking at a big title. Well, a big paragraph, sorry. There you go. And I know there, on my Photoshop document, it's using a big amount of space. Okay, we can work like this. Now, next, what do we have? So we're done with the first part. The second part is the right part. So again, we have a title element. So we're, again, the step that we're going to do, we're going to do one by one. Okay, but we're going to do the first element, the first complete element. We're going to group it, and then again, we're going to duplicate it. It's going to save so much time for us. So let's start. Title. Title should be very small. Okay, we're going to do 16 on 20. We're not going to do bold. We're going to do semi-bold, and we're just going to say graphic design. There you go. Next, what do we have? We have a shape. We're going to extend it. Let's say that the shape will be 400 pixels, okay? And it's going to be 400 pixels on maybe, yeah, 2015 would be good. There you go. So this is the 100%, okay? Let's put it here. Now, I'm going to duplicate this. I'm going to paint it in pink. And I'm going to put it exactly at the same position as my first shape. So 561 on 3600. Now the width, I can change it to, let's say, 320. There you go. Now, of course, I feel that they're too heavy, so let's change the height to 10. I think that's even better. Yeah, 561, 3600. 3600 and like this. Wonderful. So graphic design, I'm going to put it here. Now that I'm done, I'm going to select all of them. And what am I going to do? Group them. After I'm grouping, duplicating. Okay, I'm just going to move them here, and you're going to understand why. So I had graphic design. I duplicated another one, and I'm going to duplicate another one again. So I have web design, typography. What else? HTML, CSS. There you go. I'm going to select all three of them. Use my automatic layout tool. Change the padding to 15. I see that they're good. And I'm going to group them again. And I can move them as one element. And where I'm going to put them? Exactly here. There you go. I saved us a lot of time. Next, what do we have? We have 4 numbers, 4 shapes, and 4 titles. So, titles, I think we're going to keep it that way. So 3468. 3468. Okay, we're going to make it like this. And let's make the size bigger. 35 on 40. Again, this white space is a waste, so let's duplicate it 4 times. Well, instead of duplicating 4 times, let's do just 1, group them, and duplicate. Why not? Drag and drop the element, change the color to pink, put it here. We're going to make it 40 and 2. And we're going to put a small title that says Projects Finished. And instead of semi-bold, there you go. Select all 3. Automatic layout tool, 5 pixels. Exactly like that. And all I need to do is group, duplicate. Oh, sorry. I completely forgot that it pushed it somewhere else. Now these are 4 elements. How many columns? 4. And there you go. We're done. Next, step 8, our testimonials. So now I'm going to work on testimonials. Okay. So testimonials. The element that I'm going to use is the gallery element. Okay. The gallery element is an element. It was used at the beginning as a gallery, but now we're using it for something much bigger. Okay. We're using it for testimonials in this case, and I'm going to show you exactly how this element actually works. So this element is, let's say, try to imagine a lot of images in sort of in a gallery, and it's a slider, and every slider has a text caption. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to select the main element. Okay, I'm going to go to manage. I'm going to delete all the images. Okay, now I'm just going to simply, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create an image right now. Let's click here, create an image. Doesn't matter the size. You can call it whatever you want. I'm just going to take out the background. Okay, I took out the background. It's an image that is completely blank, and I'm going to save it as an image that is completely blank. Let's call it blank. As a PNG, I'm going to go to my desktop because this is where we're saving it. Simply click on Save. Okay, now it doesn't matter how many times I'm uploading this. Upload again. I'll upload it. It'll consider as 2 images. Okay, but again, there's no image. It's a blank image. Okay, again, this is the box here. Okay, I usually make it completely transparent if I want to. Okay, but what's mostly important is the text caption. Okay, so I'm gonna make the text caption big. Okay, like this. Okay, so it's a tiny bit tricky, so let's use the positioning, 960. Make sure that it's big enough. Number 1, we're going to double click on the arrows. We're going to go to PSD to Webydo, and we're going to go to the icons, testimonials. This one, there you go, and this one. Okay, wonderful. So here, I'm just going to type in our testimonials. Well, that's going to be kind of at the end. What I want to do is simply copy the text there. Okay. Make it normal. Center it. And of course, the text follows the text caption. Okay. So what I'm going to do, because it follows the text caption, I'm going to drag and drop the shape, make it full width, change its color to black. Okay. Change the opacity to 50. Okay. Put this element to top so I can play around with it. Double click on the text because we want to make it white. There you go. And what we're going to do is simply play around with it. So I'm going to click here and move this element here. Okay, of course, if I want to make it longer, I think that's exactly what we're going to do right now. And you're going to see the nice little trick that I have. Okay, so now I've put my elements here. I can move the next buttons. There you go. Every time I click on the next button, it changes text. Now, of course, again, let's do the John Doe. Let's copy this. Normal, semi-bold. And there you go. Let's do the same thing here. Okay, so again, it's always important to play around a bit with text. There you go. Center it, make it white. Push it down. Center it, semi-bold, white. There you go. Now after every, again, same thing as text caption, we're going to upload the stars. So one has 5 stars, like this, and one has 4 stars. There you go. Now that I'm done, what I'm going to do is simply change the solid color to 0 or to none. Simple as that. So now all you need to do is change it, and there you go. You have a nice testimonials page with stars. Let's push it back. There you go. And now I can put a title. Just simply copy the same title here, duplicate. Is it testimonials or our testimonials? It is our testimonials. Make it white. And center it. There you go. All good? Perfect. Next, what do we have? Okay, so let's have a small review of what we're going to do. I'm guessing I skipped this section and I showed you live what we're doing, which is even better. Okay, so basically I put a shape fit to width. On top of it, what I did, I added the gallery element that I told you that we have. Okay, on the gallery element, I took off all the images and I uploaded blank images. Next, what I did on the blank images, what are exactly blank images? Blank images are transparent PNG images. Okay, next, on the left and right arrows, I uploaded my PNG images, okay, by simply double-clicking on the arrows. Next, what I did, I understood that the text that I'm putting in is a text caption on the image, which is completely blank, okay? And then I just need to add stars, and that's it, okay? So the elements that I'm using is a shape fit to width, a gallery of basic elements, okay? On this element, I'm replacing images with blanks. I'm uploading my own arrows. I'm inputting my text, and I'm uploading my stars that are PNG images. Step 9. Okay, so before we get into this, I'm going to give you around 5 minutes before I do this section. Okay, this section is really great, and this is an important feature that you guys should add in terms of an agency, because this is basically an agency template, and you obviously need an agency website. Now, I'm just going to give you a few minutes to ask questions, and I'm going to continue the webinar, and we're going to finish with the last steps. So go ahead. This is my pricing. Again, on your Photoshop document, you see how it goes, but of course, you might be asking, why can't you do it? So it's actually super easy. What we're going to do, we're going to use most of the time shapes and just buttons. That's it. So here we have a text element, okay, which is a title and paragraph plus a shape. Okay, so first of all, let's do it. Okay, what we're going to do to make it easier, we're just going to put a guide here, which is 5177. This is a grouped element. All we need to do is duplicate that element. So the duplicated will be 5177 on the y-axis. So it just basically pushed it down here, as you all can see. Okay, so you don't need to drag it all the time. All you need to do is make sure that you know exactly what position you need it. That's why I use position a lot. Okay, a lot of you designers may think positioning is not that important. I personally think it's the most important. It's the most important that you're going to be using most of the time while creating a beautiful and clean website. Okay, so our pricing. So let's do it. Pricing. There you go. Basically simple. Nothing to add to it. Now let's have a look at the shape right here. Okay, so this is a shape plus there's a very small shadow if you look on the Photoshop document. Okay, so this is number one. number 2, let's do it. The shape. Of course, again, you need to make sure that the shape and on the Photoshop document are sort of the same size, okay? It's important for you guys to have it. So, shape. Shape is white, like this, and it has a very small shadow. I'm going to make this very quick. Spread is 1. Most of the time you're going to use 1, okay? So again, vertical distances. Whoops, sorry, it didn't save. 1, 1, 1, and enter, like this, okay? So again, it's not the color that we want. We want to spread it to 2. Have something like this. There you go. Okay, I'm just going to put it in the middle because we're going to work with only 1. Okay, so we have a shape. Next, what do we have? We have another shape. And at the bottom, there's a very small stroke of 1 pixel. And of course, the reason why I put here top stroke red is simply because on the second one, there's a red stroke at the top. So for now, we're just going to use the bottom stroke. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to add another shape. So before we do that, let's see what is the size here. The size should be 280 on 420. Of course, if we need to extend it, we'll extend it. Okay, but it's just to get the idea here. Okay, so 280. So this will also be 280. Okay, we're just going to move it here at the top. Of course, we need space. And let's say we're going to make it 150. Okay, so again, what are we looking at? A slightly different color of this shape here. What is this color? Let's use the eyedropper tool. F7, 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 not a problem. We're going to fill it, F7, like this. So you guys don't really see it much, but it's the color that is chosen from Photoshop, okay? And again, what we said that we have a bottom stroke of 1 pixel. And this is exactly what we're going to do. There you go. Okay? Now, next. So let's take this off for a minute. Okay, let's see what we have. We have this circle here. Okay, so how do we create this circle? This circle is actually a shape. Okay, this shape we're going to fill it with the color pink. We're going to press and hold the shift key. Okay, now how to make it round. Corner radius, I always put 500 because it's the maximum. When I click enter, basically cuts off the edges. Well, it doesn't cut off really the edges, just makes them more round. So the maximum that you put, the more round it is. So if I put the maximum, it's a complete circle. Okay. Now, in addition to it, if I look, there's also another shape here, which is also again a circle. Okay. So let's see what it is. It's a shape. Okay. Opacity is completely 0%. The stroke is 1 pixel white, and the corner radius is exactly the same as before. So actually what we're going to do, we're going to duplicate this element. Okay. We're just going to make a stroke of 1 pixel. Okay. 2 pixel will be even better, let's say. Okay, we don't see it yet. And we're going to take off the solid color. Okay, so for now, let's just put it in the same position. Press and hold the shift key. And there you go. Now I'm just going to take off the color. Doesn't really matter, but it's also good. It's also important. Okay, so now we're done with the circles. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to look at these 3 images. Okay, so these are image elements. Okay, and after these image elements, these are small title. And afterwards, we have a button element. Okay, so let's do it. Image, double click, icons, pricing 1, take out the fitting and the position. Let's duplicate this, double click and have X, and we're just going to duplicate the, there you go. Now what we're going to do, we're going to select all of this, we're going to put it on the side because I just want, instead of making my life complicated and my design complicated, what we're going to do is use the automatic layout tool. 5 and 5, as you can see, all I need to do is group them because I use my automatic layout tool. So I don't need to calculate the padding between every element. It's already done. So it's here already. Next, let's put this back here. And let's put my images right here. Oh, good. Now, of course, like I told you before, I'm going to need to extend this. Next, we have titles. So, a title for pricing. Bold, let's do extra bold. And let's make it, let's center it. Let's make it pink. Okay, and of course we can add them as pricing titles. Pricing titles. There you go. So we have starter, premium, and business. Okay, let's start with starter. Like this. Next, what do we have? We have what people get from it. So you have 10 users. Before, so we just want to set this as normal. Yeah, we can use this 10 users. Like this if you want to make it bold. Duplicate. What do people get? Unlimited bandwidth. There you go. And full statistics. Let's duplicate. Full statistics. There you go. So here I'm just going to ungroup and I'm going to explain to you why, because I want my text to be completely at the same size. So I'm not going to use the automatic layout tool because this is too complicated right now. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drag and drop my guides exactly in the center of every small element, exactly like this. So now I know that everything is completely at the same positioning. Okay, so this is what we have. Again, with 10 users, I want everything to be exactly in the same position. So I'm going to use my arrows very quickly. Okay. Full statistics. So I'm using my arrows right now. There you go. I know I can take off all my guides at the same time. So view, guides, goodbye. And I can put it here. Next, we need to put a price. Let's put a title. Let's make it extra bold or black, how they say. Okay, ultra bold. Center it. And what's the price? $19. And make it huge. Instead of 26, it's going to be 25, 35 on 40. There you go. And per month. So another title. Instead of bold, it's going to be semi-bold. It's going to be completely small. 14, 18, center. Yeah, that's exactly it. Okay, now we can color them in white. white. And what I'm going to do now is simply move this down a bit, making sure, or maybe group them for now. There you go. Now I can ungroup them. Oh, sorry. I did the Control T for grouping, okay? But normally I should use my mouse so that everybody can see. We're going to drag and drop here. What is it? Choose plan. Choose plan. Desktop button. I'm going to change its color to this. Background transition color. It doesn't matter the transition color. As long as, well, actually, no. What I wanted to do is drag and drop the radius button. Why? Because I just want a small radius here. Now I see that they've put 50. What I just want 10. 10, well, 10 is too much. Let's try 5. Yeah, 5 is perfect. Okay. Choose plan. Background color. Background transition. Border transition. And where's my desktop button? There you go. Perfect. And I'm putting it exactly at the center of this pricing. There you go. Now that I'm done, of course, I don't want to redesign everything again. What I'm going to do is group. And now that I'm grouping, I'm duplicating. Now I think I moved something. I'm just going to correct this. Oops, sorry for that. There you go. So instead of 1939, unlimited bandwidth, check. This is going to be the premium. Amazing. Oh, and of course, there's a top stroke. Okay, what am I going to do? Simple as that. Now there's a bottom stroke that is gray, so again, I'm going to duplicate this element right here. I'm going to put it back where it was before. Okay. Take out this color completely. Put a stroke. Now you kind of see pink stroke on top, and the top stroke would be 2 pixels. Am I missing something? Oh, there you go. Should be right here, and this should be right here. Let's push it down. And there you go. Okay, now what we're going to do, we're going to select all, group it. Is this grouped already? Yeah. Let's duplicate it. Let's ungroup it. Have this fixed. There you go, starter and business. And business has everything at $99 a month. See? Simple as that. I don't need to redesign anything. I don't need to make things complicated. Everything is all good. And all you need to do at the end when you're done with your design is linking. There you go. I'm selecting all 3. 3 columns. There you go. Oh, let's undo this. I forgot to group the other elements here. Okay, so let's wait for a minute. Okay, so now that I'm done with this section, I'm just going to give a very few minutes to answer all of the questions. Step 10, so we're almost done. So this is kind of easy. What we're looking at is images, okay? So let's have a quick look. These are image elements, okay? This is a shape fit to width. This is a title and text, and this is a form where it gets the email address. Simple as that. Okay, so let's do it. Now, there is, please make sure to pay attention with the company icons. You're going to see that the Apple icon is a tiny bit bigger than all of the icons here. Why? Because it's only one image. This is one image with the text. Okay. So again, I'm gonna set this image to be none, stretch fit to width. Just making sure. Duplicate it. Google. Duplicate it again. So we have Envanto. Great. Let's duplicate it. So we have Envanto and Google. We have Microsoft. No, we don't have Microsoft. Okay. And now we only need Apple. So let's make sure Google first, Spotify second. Let's drag and drop the Apple icon. So again, it's very much different. It's a whole, if I'm not mistaken, it's, okay, that's even better. Take this off, stretch, fit to width. Yeah, perfect. And then we have Microsoft and Envanto. There you go. So you're going to see maybe, I hope I'm wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many columns? 5 columns. There you go. So you see the Apple icon is sort of kind of in between, but it's okay. It still looks good. Again, if you want to fix this, all you need to do is fix in Photoshop or even make the Apple smaller. Okay. And yeah, aside from that, it's all good. Okay, next. Here we have shape fit to width. Let's keep it without any background colors. Let's make it 450. Let's go to my template here, subscribe. And I know that here on impressed, just want to make sure what is the title, 26 on 30. Select this. Yep, it's good. It's the title. Next, well, it's basically a text and paragraph. So let's just simply add the text element, which is the text and paragraph, like this. And if I remember, subscribe us. And I know that this wasn't that white. Wonderful. I'm going to go very soon and we're going to work on the blog very quickly. Okay, so you're going to have a small preview of the blog. Okay, automatic layout tool. And a lot of people think that you can use the automatic layout tool only on responsiveness, but no, you can still work with the desktop view. So we're going to drag and drop the form, and again, the only thing that we need actually is an email address. Okay, so just one field. So we're going to take this grouped element, going to make it a tiny bit bigger, the field also. This field is required. We're going to leave it. We're going to double click on label text. We're going to remove it. There you go. Okay. So basically what I'm looking here on the field itself, what it is, it's the field itself is completely transparent, but it has a stroke of 1 pixel on the field itself. Okay, so that's why you can still see the stroke. If I take out this whole thing, this is what we get. And we have subscribe, the subscribe button. So let's customize the subscribe button very quickly. So this field size is 36. This should also be 36. And inside, subscribe, let's push the text to be completely centered. Oh, I forgot. Let's change this to railway bold. Now, pay attention. What I'm going to do, I'm going to extend this a bit. Extend the text block. There you go. And it snaps. If you're asking why is it so centered, it snaps. And I'm going to change this to, whoops, sorry, to white. And instead of 15 on 15, 15 on 19. That's how it should be. There you go. We're going to take out the stroke of the main form element. Now again, you guys are asking where's the email address, so we're going to click here on the form, and then we're going to go to Properties panel, and we're going to say email address. Whoops, sorry. Like this. We're going to put a field space of 10 so that everybody can see. We're going to make it huge. Well, not that huge. Going to change its color to white. And there you go. And now you can just simply center it. And voila. Next. Step 11. So recent blogs, same thing. Okay, so we're almost there. We only have 2 more blogs in the footer, and we're all good. So let's have a look. So how does the blog work actually? The blog is basically one element. So here we can manage all of our posts. Here I see that we have this type of blog, but first of all, let's just take care of the recent blog section. So here I have text element with a shape. Okay, let's see what is here, 6231. Let's duplicate here, our services, duplicate, 6231, boom. Let's go down and it's here. Wonderful, I can take this out. All right, wonderful. Recent blogs. Okay, now we have 3. Okay, so first of all, what we're going to do, we're going to click on blog. We're going to click on start blogging. And of course, I'm going to have a webinar about blogs as well. Okay, now we have 2 post titles that are approved. Okay, what I want to do is I want to add a new post because we're looking at 3. Just to give you an idea on how it works. Okay, so it's basically loading. If I do close the blog, I'll be able to drag and drop the blog element, which is kind of a blog feed. And basically what it's going to do, we have actually, Weby'do has the same design as what you guys see here. Okay, all you need to do is set it as 3 columns. Just going to push the vertical feed. It's called the vertical feed. But what you can do is on the elements, you're going to see columns where you're going to change to 2. Here you see 2, and then you see 3. Okay. But in order to see 3, we just need to add one. Oh, here we go. Well, basically what we're going to do, we're just going to duplicate a blog post. So we're going to go on Pages, Blog, here we go, and we duplicate. There you go. And this we can delete. And this we're going to call 3. Save. And there you go, it's there. Wonderful. Let's make it fit to width. There you go. And of course, you can choose to change your paragraph styles and your paragraphs themselves. Okay, so again, the title is set to default. Let's do the title here. Maybe it's going to change. That's good. Description is normal. There you go. And of course, you can change the Read More button to be set as pink. And voila. Okay. And the text style will be desktop button white. And there you go. Okay. Next, what do we have? Step 2. And we have the footer. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go down. We're going to push everything up. And between the content line and the footer line is my footer. So let's extend this. And let's drag and drop a shape. Make it fit to width. And fill it with a color. Let's see exactly the steps that we need to take. Number 1, I just want to change the shape to, let's say, 80. I'm going to simply duplicate that shape. And is it darker? Yes, it is darker. And we're going to put it right here. Go. 118, let's do 100. Let's make it even 80. That's even better. And then we can push this up and we're good. Next. So we have a title and text. So basically what we're going to do to make this easier. Okay, so this is called Rage. So we're going to do Rage. Okay. Take off the text here. We're going to make it all white. And basically, I'm just going to add another space here. And here, this is where I'm going to put my shape. Now, how is this? This should look like this. 35. I'm going to take this off and make it 2. There you go. Is there a big space? Yeah. Should be like this. All good? Perfect. And of course we do have, well, let's make sure we have the same paragraphs. Oh, so yeah, sometimes you get sort of, well, it's not a bug. It's basically when you copy paste, the Photoshop document actually has spaces and new lines, which kind of messes up your design in Weby'nar. And there you go. Next, what do we have? we have these shapes. So what exactly are these shapes? These shapes are from exactly flat icon. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so let's use flat icon. So we have Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Facebook, like that. We're just gonna, you know what? Even better. We're just gonna make it much better. Oh well, even better. I have a better idea. This is not the icon. We're gonna use Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. What else do we have? Vimeo and Snapchat. Instagram. Sorry. Okay, there you go. I'm going to change its color, and you see how it works. Download collection, PNG, 256. There you go. Download it. I'm going to go back to Webydo. I'm going to drag and drop the shape, and I'm going to make it completely round. So under stroke, 500, and we're just going to make it completely small. Okay. What we're going to also do is duplicate it. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 5. I'm going to select all of them. Automatic layout tool. Like this. Well, this is too much, so here's what I'm going to do. The way that I make my calculation, simply 56 plus 43 gives me this position. $56 plus 43 gives me 99. This is 99. And I want 10 pixels plus 10, 109. This is 109. 109 plus 43 plus 10, 162. Plus 43 plus 10, 215. 268. And then I'm going to drag. Oh, which by the way, I can change its color to this gray all the time. And this is exactly what I'm going to do. And when we're done, we're going to publish it, and it's going to be a beautiful website. Now we're going to double click, but before we double click, let's open the zip file that I just downloaded. My icon collection. There you go. Downloads, PNG. We set Facebook. We're going to do 20. None. Fit to width. We're going to duplicate it. Double click. Facebook, Twitter. Here you go. Twitter, we're going to duplicate. LinkedIn. Vimeo. The little thing matters the most. And Instagram. There you go. Thank God for these snap guides. Now what do we have? We have a menu for the name, phone number, message, and send message. It's very easy to do. First, we're going to take this off. Name, 15 pixels. Take the solid color off. There we go. We just want the stroke to be like this. Oh, sorry. Not what I had in mind. There you go. We're going to duplicate. Email. And message. Instead of single line, multi-line. We're not going to make it actually fit to width. Oh, I did an oopsie here. Send message. Corner radius will be 5. And let's take off this. Completely forgot to change colors, which is okay. Now it's always good to align everything. So this is exactly what we're going to do. And voila. now we're going to publish it. Let's publish our beautiful website. And there you go. Oh, this is a blog page that I can easily sure I created it by mistake. Let's republish our website. There you go. A fully functioning website.